So out in Boston, we talked last week, I think, about Jaylen Brown. He did an interview with Logan Murdoch. Murdoch works for The Ringer. In it, JB, obviously, we talked about this, talked a lot of shit about his teammates, about just the world in general, about the organization as a whole. He wasn't really shit-talking his teammates, but he was definitely talking about the organization. It was a little salacious. There were pointed barbs launched at some of the coaching decisions that have been made, some of the organizational decisions that have been made, whether Jason Tatum was hanging out with Kevin Durant too much when his name was circulating in trade rumors. And now, which is very surprising to me because Jaylen Brown is the type of player that and person that I thought would stand 10 toes down on his comments and say, yeah, I said it. He is now walking it all back. Very disappointing. He was asked in his post-game presser about some of the comments coming out of the article, and if you recall, included lots of quotes from other people, including teammates like Tatum, friends like Kyrie. Very detailed, very well-sourced article, and apparently not well enough sourced for Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown had this to say. In terms of speculation, etc., I can't speculate on anything above what I'm doing right now. I think sometimes when people write articles, they get taken out of context, especially when writers have their own agendas or whatever. For me personally, I'm thinking about clarifying some of the things that have been recently said. But other than that, I'm just focused on my team. I'm focused on playing basketball and winning games. Oh boy. What exactly are you looking to clarify? Nothing right now, he says. Right now, the only thing I want to clarify is that the Celtics need to play better and win more games. If I want to say something in the future about the kind of things that have been floating around, I will. But in terms of right now, I like when people hear things from the horse's mouth and you can see my reaction, my face, and everything how I feel about how I'm saying. Sometimes those things can get lost in translation, you know? So if I feel the need to do so, I will. I keep in constant communication with my teammates and my organization, and we've got to have everybody on board if we want to do what we say we want to do. So right now, I'm focused on that. It's almost like Jaylen Brown doesn't know how the media works. Hey, we're going to get your thoughts from your mouth in spoken word form. Those are going to come out in written word form. And when you say things, even if they sound nice, when you put them in print, they definitely sound worse. Always. Always, always, always. This is a guy who maybe should do some more interviews so he knows how articles are going to come out. Yes, they get spun in the direction that a writer wants to write. You think they're just going to put your quotes up and be like, hey, here's what Jaylen Brown has to say. Boom. That's it. Nothing. No opinions. No context. No setup. No conclusion. No substantiating information. Nothing. You don't think he's going to point out that Kanye West did all this crazy shit that you were aligned with him and you didn't want to fire him? Yeah, he did that. So it also sounds like a guy who's like getting a lot of advice from people being like, hey, if you want that Supermax deal, if you get all NBA and they don't offer you that Supermax deal, you better pack your bags and think about going to Atlanta or wherever is the other teams that you think about going, because if they don't think you're all in, they're not all in. He also did not feel the need to say that anything reported was false, so that's interesting, including his disappointment with the way that he was dangled as trade bait. He didn't say anything about that. All of this, though, just puts more pressure on the Celtics in the offseason and in the postseason. If they get flamed out early and he doesn't get all NBA and he doesn't get that Supermax deal, the patience from Jaylen Brown might just wear out and shit might just hit the fan.